What is up, guys? Neumatix here, of course, and welcome back to our Adventure to Space Let's Play. In the last episode, we went ahead and built our rocket, although it took a long time to go ahead and get this thing built and to figure out exactly how many tanks we needed and how many thrusters. We got it built. We finally made it to the moon. Obviously, I came back to the overworld so I can build some more stuff because, honestly, I wanted some kind of base on the moon where I wouldn't have to worry about running out of oxygen. And it's something that we can actually do in this mod. So over in my inventory, I went ahead and made some oxygen vent. I only think I'm going to need one, and I'm bringing a bunch of building blocks with us so we can go ahead and build our base up there. And then we need some CO2 scrubbers, some carbon collection cartridges, so they're going to go in those CO2 scrubbers. And then we need some kind of solar generators in order to give this oxygen vent some power. And I'm bringing along a coal generator just in case we need it, just in case these solar generators don't work on the moon. I'm sure they do, but we're going to figure it out. I'm also bringing along a station light, small airlock door, and a couple other things like energy pipes so we can pipe that energy straight from the solar generator to the oxygen vent. But enough of looking at my inventory. Let's go ahead and jump into our rocket and then lift off. And hopefully this time we won't have the issue of crashing, the game crashing as soon as we hit the moon. This is pretty cool. I'm really glad that I went ahead and made this rocket completely out of glass at the top. And my machine noise is going away because we're getting pretty far away. Oh, also down there in my machine that creates fuel for this thing, I went ahead and put a pressurized tank so it can hold a lot more fuel. And in my little traveler sack here, I went ahead and made some more tanks that can hold a lot more rocket fuel just in case. I think we only needed about 4 of them to go ahead and get back home. But I like to be prepared. I also have a couple more hydrogen tanks, and I also have some oxygen tanks just in case this doesn't work on the moon. But I'm pretty sure it's going to, and I'm pretty excited because I've always wanted to make a base on the moon. So hopefully everything works out as planned. Wow, it's snowing up here. Oh, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Because in Minecraft, when you get up to a really high place, it starts snowing instead of raining. I don't know if launching on a rainy day was such a smart idea, but oh well, I don't really care. We are going to the moon, if I can talk right. We're finally going to go back and build this awesome station. I'm really excited to do this. And then afterwards, oh, here we go. Transition. Well, guys, in the middle of me talking and landing on the moon, of course, the game crashed again. I have no idea why. Maybe it's the amount of mods I have installed, because I do have a lot of mods. But at least this time, our rocket landed on the moon and wasn't up in the air. So at least we have that going for us. Hopefully, this isn't a recurring thing that happens with each planet I go to. If that is the fact, I am going to have to go ahead and sort out some mods and get rid of some. Maybe that is the cause. I'm really hoping that's it and it's nothing more. So this is the point where we're on the moon, and it's pretty dark. I think it's because the Earth is not in sight, or the sun is in sight somewhere, and that kind of sucks. So we're on like a dark side of the moon, and we're gonna have to go ahead and build our base and see how this turns out. So let's go ahead and grab some of those building blocks I have, and hopefully we can go ahead and just make a little. It's not gonna look good or anything. It's gonna be pretty simple. And let's go ahead. Should I build it close to my rocket? Probably not. I'm probably going to want to go over here somewhere. Just close enough, because I think the rocket usually lands in the same area all the time. If not, I'm going to go, actually, a good way to tell is go my JEI and then hit this, and it does. So it always lands in the same spot on the moon. Because this is the last point when it was up in the air. I made that little point in JEI to make sure I had a waypoint to figure out how to get back to my rocket. So I'm going to go ahead and build a little base, kind of, and I'm not going to go ahead and let you guys, like, you know, watch me meaninglessly build this thing until it's all built, and I'll go ahead and set up the energy sources so that I can show you guys how that works. Alright guys, so I'm putting on the final touches of my little base here. It's going to be pretty tiny for right now, and I think that's all we need. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and place down this airlock door. And that should be good right there. And then I think this works off of pressure plates. Yep, sure does. And then we go and place one right there. Now here's the thing. I'm going to need my power sources to be up in the air, of course. So I'm probably going to have to break one of these. And I think I'm going to go ahead and place my air generator back here. So let me go ahead and place the oxygen vent. I should say the oxygen vent. Yep. And I'm going to have to place the CO2s down. Let's go and place those carbon things inside. I think they just need those right there. And then this is going to need some power. So we could go ahead and place the pipe going upward and then going straight into 3 right here because I have that coal generator that should work just fine. And then I have the 2 solar generators. So I could go ahead and do that. Place one right there. And let's go ahead and place that coal generator just as backup. I'm hoping that's going to say that it's sealed. And let's go ahead and grab the energy pipes. And you know what? I forgot to bring something. I forgot to bring a lever to make sure that this energy gets piped down into the oxygen vent. Very unfortunate. I wish I would have remembered to bring that because now I'm not going to know if this is going to work at all. I'm going to have to go back to the earth in order to figure this out. But before we do that, before I cut to that, I'm going to go ahead and light this place up because I got some station lights that come with the mod. And I'm hoping that they'll go ahead and light this place up pretty nicely. So we'll put one right there. Yeah, I think that that's going to work pretty nice. We'll go and put one in the corner over here. And let's just light up the corners. So we'll go over here, and hopefully that'll be enough light. And one thing I've noticed is that on the moon, no mobs spawn. I've not seen any mobs at all. So we are in the clear when it comes to mobs. And why did it break that like that? I think I need to place one down like that. And then, well, we have 3 more. So I could probably place 2 more in the corner. And then 1 randomly maybe in the middle or something like that. As you can tell, I'm not the best builder at all when it comes to stuff like this. So, well, we have a glass ceiling. So you know what? Let's go and break this one. Place a light right here. I think that looks pretty cool. Nice little white lights shining off of the moon turf. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm hoping that this is how the oxygen vent works. Let's go and see. This isn't even gaining any power. And I also forgot to bring any coal. Wow, my head is not in the right place today. So, of course, I remembered to bring all of the hydrogen, oxygen, rocket fuel, but I did not remember to bring that stuff. So, on the list, coal and a lever, and I will be right back. Alright guys, so I'm just getting back to the moon. I did happen to remove some mods because it did crash again. And I noticed that this rocket has an auto descend. So even if I'm not in the rocket, it's going to come down. At least it should come back down to where it always goes. So I'm hopefully going to rely on that if I go to other planets and it continues to crash. I have no idea why it's doing that. I'm going to have to go into crash logs and figure out what's going on. Maybe I have some weird non-compatibility with one of the mods I'm using right now. But we'll worry about that later, and we'll go ahead and get right back to our chamber here, and hopefully we can get the oxygen working. So I have 0 power going to it, probably because I don't have any levers going to it, because I do have power generating now since the sun is up and above, and I think the day cycle is a bit longer, if I'm not mistaken, because it just lasts forever now that I've gone back here. So let's go ahead and grab one of the levers out. And I think I can maybe place it right here. Nope. Maybe. I always get these confused. I don't know how to make these. Oh, wait. Well, it would help if some energy was going to those. Let's go and grab those out. Right here. I was about to freak out. I thought I left them. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, it actually doesn't need me to put a lever down for these. Nice. Sweet. I don't have to worry about that. This is not drawing that much power either. Well, I don't know. Maybe because I haven't turned it on? Empty. How do I get it to start making some oxygen? It's got power going to it now, so it should, right? Maybe it needs redstone? Nope. CO2 is working just fine. These don't need any oxygen. Huh. That is weird. Because it is completely sealed. I don't have any openings to this. I just have some glass going out, looking out. It's not breathable. Just tell me it's not breathable. Maybe I'm not allowed to make a base on the moon. That would be unfortunate, but it was worth a try. Maybe we'll come back to this and see if we can get this working later, because I really did want to get some energy going to this so that we can have some kind of oxygen. How much does that hold? That actually holds, 60,000. I think this is the same amount as the coal generator that comes in the mod. But this is really, really going to bum me out if I can't get any oxygen coming through. That's so weird. Oh well. So, as I was telling you guys before, up on the moon, we don't have any mobs that will go ahead and pop up anywhere. At least none that I've seen. As you saw, when we got here, it was dark. It was during the night cycle, and there was no mobs to be found. So that makes it really nice when you're going around, because all the different kind of ores that you usually generate on the overworld generate here. I was actually doing a little bit of mining when I was going around to find some diamonds, and I was actually able to find some. So it seems like I said, any kind of ore you'll find on the overworld, you'll find in here. And I believe the only problem is you can't lay down any torches. That's why I haven't. Well, I think I did bring torches actually. I'll go ahead and show you guys what happened. So I got a torch out. I'm going to go ahead and just place it down. And it's an extinguished torch. So it's not going to light up anything, because torches and fire can't survive out in a vacuum. At least, not that I know of. So that's unfortunate. So if I'm going through a cave system, I'm probably going to be straining my eyes trying to figure out where I'm going, or I'm going to have to bring a lot of glowstone. And I don't think it's worth taking glowstone with me and wasting that going through cave systems in the moon. But that's just something for you guys to know. So if you come to the moon like I have and you want to go ahead and go mining, maybe just bring along your suit workstation and then a couple oxygen tanks so you don't run out of oxygen, and you'll be just fine. But for now, I think since I'm pretty disappointed with this, I think we are going to go ahead and head back to the Earth. All right, guys, right back at you. So this thing really drove me nuts. I didn't want to just go back to the Earth and not have a solution for this. So I went ahead and grabbed a bunch more blocks, and I came back, and I was thinking maybe it was because the bottom was made out of the moon turf. So I decided to destroy all that and add all these stone bricks on the bottom. Still didn't work. And I was like, well, maybe because I had this outline in half slabs, I'm like, maybe that's probably the issue. And it actually turned out to be that. So the fact that I had half slabs as a ceiling didn't count it as a full block, which didn't allow this to turn on. But now it is on. It is pressurized and it is breathable. So I can go ahead and take my space helmet off inside my little my moon base, and I'll be able to be just fine from now on. I think if I click on this, well, it says my oxygen vent is empty. I don't think that's an issue because this whole thing is getting pressurized. So let's go and throw that back on. So as long as it says atmosphere type, pressurized air, and is breathable, we are just fine. And then over time, these things are going to eventually break down, and that is why I have some extra ones. So eventually, I'm going to be bringing up a chest, put in the corner with all the little stuff that I'm going to need up here. So if I go ahead and go like this and go out, we can go ahead and check out our base up on the moon, all these little half slabs I broke off. And if we ever need to go ahead and fill this up with more coal, I could just come up on the roof like this and fill it up with no issues. And I like that these little station lights, I like the way I went ahead and put them all around the corners. It looks pretty cool around the moon. And it is going to be nighttime, so that kind of sucks because it's going to take forever for the sun to come back up. But I think our time here on the moon is done for right now, because the only thing else I can do here is look for ores. So I think what we're going to want to do is go back on the overworld, and I looked up this thing called a railgun that will allow us to go ahead and send items here. I don't know if we could do that or if we have to create satellites first. I think we might have to go ahead and do the satellites first, which might be good anyways because we need satellites and their data and all that kind of stuff to find other planets. And I think I'm also going to want to go ahead and start making another area to make our space station, so that we can make a space station, so we can go ahead and make the warp core, all that kind of fun stuff too. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back in my rocket. I just want to show you guys that I got that working, and that you can indeed have a base on the moon as long as you have that oxygen vent and as long as you have some CO2 scrubbers. And I'm going to go into my guidance computer. Nope, nope. I want to go into select destination, go back to the Earth, select, and then I'm going to have to grab some more rocket fuel. I've been going through a bunch of rocket fuel, so I believe I have enough. I think I've made it out to where I only need 4 in order to get back home. So hopefully I did not mess up my calculations there. And I noticed also it doesn't take as much fuel to get back to Earth as it does getting from Earth to the moon. Little side note. So go and put that in. I can't tell which ones are empty and which ones aren't. Okay, they're all empty. And I'm almost completely full, so I can go ahead and take back off. This time when I came to the moon, it did not crash my game, so it was like a hoorah moment. Yes, it didn't crash. Thank God. So hopefully we won't have that issue with any other planets. At least I hope so. But adios, moon. Back to the Earth we go to go ahead and build some more contraptions so that we can further explore space and the cosmos. Alright guys, we are back on the Earth. I went ahead and landed, and then I went ahead and built a couple things off camera so that we could just go ahead and jump right into building the satellite. I went ahead and looked up the schematics to build the railgun, and that was way too expensive. It used like 18 titanium blocks, and I don't know if I even have that many titanium blocks. I believe I have a lot of rutile ore that I could go ahead and smelt down, but I don't feel like using all of them just to build a railgun. I think that is a later project that we're going to have to deal with. So instead, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the satellites. I went and built a rocket monitoring station, which go ahead and monitor the rocket as it goes up. And then we have a rocket assembling machine, just like that one. And then a little platform, because it's not going to need as much, because we're never going to see this thing again. As soon as it shoots up, that's it. Adios. See ya. And then I went ahead and made a satellite builder, so we can go ahead and build our satellite. So we're going to need a satellite ID chip, something called either an optical sensor, a mass detector, or a composition sensor or something like that. We're going to need some data chips, and we're going to need some solar panels, something like this, basic solar panel, or the large solar panel. I went ahead and just built the basic, since this is the first time building a satellite. So let's go ahead and build one and see how that works. So I went ahead and also built a satellite bay, because when we build this rocket and scan it and build it, it's going to need the satellite bay for the satellite itself to go in it. So let's go and grab the chassis, the basic satellite, the data chip, and I have another one of those. Satellite terminal. Did I bring one of those out? Do I need one? Oh yes, I do need one for the data that's going to process. Okay, so let's go and grab that, and then a satellite. You know what? Let's go and grab the satellite bay out. I don't need that. Launch pad. Let's grab some of these. I don't need any more launch pads. Optical sensor, and I think we're set. So let's go ahead and build this thing. Go ahead and throw the chassis in. I don't know why it went there. It's not supposed to go there. Satellite ID chip. Let's go and put some solar panels in there. Data chips, optical sensor. Build it. Now it's going to take a little bit to go ahead and build, and we are set. So optical telescope. Power storage 3000, generates 3, data storage 3.0K. So this should be going into our satellite bay when we build the rocket. This ID chip is something we're going to need to keep. It says planet unknown satellite optical. Okay, so it's not trying to find a planet, it's going straight for a satellite. So let's go ahead and build the rocket itself, which is going to be pretty simple. I just want to go ahead and build a small one, which is probably going to be off center. Maybe I could just go ahead and do something like this. I'm sure it doesn't really matter what it looks like. And I don't want to use all of these. So maybe I could just throw the satellite bay on there right now. And throw the satellite in there. Maybe. Let's go ahead and see what happens. We'll scan it. Not enough fuel capacity, so we're going to have to add some more fuel tanks to it. And add 2 more. Like I said, these things are expensive, so I'm trying to use as little as possible. Just a little more. Okay. Let's go ahead and scan it again. Clear for liftoff. Sweet. Okay, so I got 3 of those left. So I'm probably going to have to build some more when I want to make another satellite, because we can make, I believe, 3 different types So like I said, the optical sensor stores one set of data, the mass detector stores another set of data, and this composition sensor stores the third set of data. Yeah, that's it, I believe. And then that's actually going to help out when we go ahead and make this thing called a drill, which is like a drill rocket they'll send off, and when these things find enough data on asteroids. So we got a whole bunch of cool stuff that we can check out when we go ahead and launch these things up. Well, let's go ahead, and I'm hoping I got everything right. I got the satellite ID chip. I want to bring this guy out just to check. I just want to check it out. So it's going to need this guy. Okay. So that, yeah, that should be fine. This is the first time messing with this stuff, so I'm just kind of, you know, I knew a little bit about it, but not everything. So hopefully that's going to be enough. Let's go ahead and build it. I don't think I built it. And then it's going to need some fuel. So let's go ahead and click. All right. And do I have fuel on me? I don't think I do. Where did I put all my fuel? Oh, it's all in here. I made a bunch of more. And then as you can see over here, we have a bunch of rocket fuel set up so that we should have no problem keeping going to the moon, or when we eventually build our space station. So let's go ahead and throw some of these in here. And let's check, let's make sure it's not already full. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to click you. There we go, it is full. So I think it's set now because we got the satellite. Let's just send it off. Let's see what happens. Launch. It didn't want to launch. Why didn't it want to launch? Maybe it needs to be at the same level. Let's go and break it. And then grab a block. What kind of block do I want? I don't want to just grab any kind of block. Let's go ahead and grab maybe some oh no. Maybe a stone. Sure, we'll grab one of those. And then grab that back out. Boom. Boom. Launch. Launch! Oh, you know what? I think I need to link it. I think I need to link this to that. Yes. Yeah, now it says it's full. Now we can go ahead and launch it, I hope. Okay, launch. There we go. Our first satellite built and on its way to orbit so that we can go ahead and collect a bunch of data off of it. And I think since I have this ID chip, I should be able to store data on it. So now that it's off in the orbit, I think what I need to do is build another ID chip. So let's go ahead and look up what I need for that. So the data, and then let's go up to here. So we're going to need emerald, basic circuit, and a redstone. And I think I have most of that stuff in my chest. Yep, basic circuit, redstone. What else did I say I needed? Emerald. Oh, we're great. There we go. Got one of those. I'm going to go ahead and throw one of these guys in here. And then that. So that we can go ahead and get any of the data that's being processed from the satellite and stored onto that chip. Which later on, we're going to have to build something called a data processor or something. It's another build. Kind of like these. Or kind of like these machines. That'll go ahead and store all the data that we're getting off of our satellite. So let's go ahead and jump into this guy. Let's go ahead and store this guy right there. And it is up in the air. It says optical telescope, info, power. And it's already stored for data. So we can actually go ahead and we can connect. And it'll store that data in here. So now I have it in there. Or we could go ahead and store it in this chip. Go ahead and put in there 4 data out of 1,000 stored. So we already got a lot of, well, not a lot of data. We need a lot more than that when we build more of our satellites. And we definitely need to do that. So I know for a fact we are going to have to build the mass detector and then the composition sensor and then build some more satellites, well, some more rockets. So I'm going to be using a lot of my materials to build these guys. And then eventually we're going to go ahead and build the bigger machine off in the distance. Probably over here somewhere. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to have to bust this wall out and extend it because we're going to need a lot more room if we want to go ahead and make our space station as well. But you know what, guys? I think that this is going to be a wrapping up point because we have gotten to a point where we are going to be just going and building a bunch more satellites. And you've already seen me build one, so pretty much I'm just going to be repeating the process when I make the one for the mass detector and the composition sensor. So pretty boring stuff. I'll go ahead and make that off camera, and then when we come back in the next episode, we'll go ahead and start building the data processor, the other machine that we need to go ahead and process all that data so we can use it with our observatories and our drill. And then eventually we are going to get to building our space station. I don't know, I might skip all that and just go straight to the space station. Depends on how I feel in the next episode. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, please leave a like or comment. I'd really appreciate it. It does help my channel out, and I'll see you guys in the next one on Thursday. Peace.